Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Destruction and heartbreak in Florida with search and rescue efforts underway to find survivors.
A train derailment causing a traffic mess in Warren, with cleanup going late into the night to get everything reopened for you in the morning. But let's start here at 11 with that $400 car insurance refunds Michigan drivers received earlier this year. Everyone was really excited about that, right?
Well, it turns out you may be asked to pay some of it back as the wrangling over Michigan's new auto no-fault law is headed to the state Supreme Court. Mara McDonald is live in Royal Oak. We hope this isn't the case, Mara, but tell us what the issue is here.
So, Kimberly, at the end of the day, here's what the discussion is all about. Is it fair that people who were catastrophically injured prior to 2019 have to abide, essentially, by this new law's caps on what it'll pay medical providers? Let me show you. The Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association putting out this bulletin. Everybody will be charged a minimum of $48 to a max of $122 per vehicle starting in July of next year because of an anticipated deficit.
For what, one time?
You'll remember this is the same fund that paid out checks of $400 to every Michigander this year who had auto insurance because of the change to the auto no-fault law.
Accountant didn't do the math correctly, and now we have to pay it back because of their mistake.
Turns out one of the biggest changes in that new auto no-fault law is headed to the Michigan Supreme Court for a final say. The new insurance law puts caps on what medical providers can charge, which put those like Shalise Wilson's brother Clarence in a bad situation. He was catastrophically injured in 2008. The new fee schedule put his current provider out of business.
Sometimes, you talk to people and they just don't get it because they're not living it.
Patients sued, and the Michigan Court of Appeals said those fee caps, they shouldn't be applied to those getting care prior to 2019 when the new law was passed. Now the insurance industry is suing and taking the issue to the Michigan Supreme Court. Back here live, the Michigan Supreme Court has already said it will take up the issue and will hear the case early next year. We're live in Royal Oak tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
We will be following it. Okay, Mara, thank you.
Hurricane Ian's destruction coming more into focus as we see all these new videos coming into the newsroom of the devastation across Florida.
And tonight we're learning more about the human toll. At least 10 people are confirmed dead so far, and there are fears the death toll could, of course, be significantly higher with Hurricane Ian, potentially the deadliest hurricane in the state's history. Millions remain without power, and search and rescue crews are working overtime to find survivors. Our Kim Adams reports from Fort Myers.
As Hurricane Ian approached Fort Myers yesterday, a lot of attention was focused on the high winds at 155 miles per hour. But it was the water, the 12-foot storm surge that caused the damage that you see to this marina behind me. Flooding continues to be a problem tonight with as many as 1,000 people trapped in their homes. Active search and rescue teams from all over the country are here tonight. 911 is overwhelmed, too overwhelmed to do wellness checks. So when we started receiving emails, messages from Local 4 viewers asking us to check on their loved ones, we knew we had to go. We started in Sarasota to check on a mom and a son from Clarkston who live in Siesta Key, but the causeway was closed. We then went to Venice to check on the home of a Local 4 viewer from Grosse Pointe. On the way, we spotted a family trying to escape the floodwaters and got stuck in the muck and debris. By the time we got to the home in Venice, the roads were too flooded and we had to turn back. Then Local 4 viewer Jen Baffy from Plymouth sent us an urgent Facebook message begging to check on her mom near Fort Myers.
Reached out to you on Facebook and I sent you a message and you messaged back so quickly. It was so great. And then you said, all right, we're going to go find her.
Finally, success.
Are you Mary? I am Kim Adams. Yes, I am. Are you Mary? Oh, your daughter Jen is so worried about you.
With no cell service, we recorded a message from Mary to her family. Then we moved to another location and FaceTimed her daughter with the good news.
We found her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you hear me, Jen? She's safe. She's safe. She's totally fine. She was out in her front yard, just sweeping around, picking stuff up. She had Sunny Girl with her.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's okay.
It's been hard.
I know it has.
Thank you guys for I appreciate it so much.
Because of the street flooding, we were not able to get to as many homes as we wanted to. Even search and rescue teams are having difficulty getting in to some of these subdivisions and some of the areas hit hardest by Hurricane Ian. In Fort Myers, 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams, Local 4.
So emotional there. Oh my goodness.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and so this hurricane, it's strengthening again and
Yes.
headed to another state now.
Yeah, strengthening yet again. At 5 o'clock, we went back to a Category 1 hurricane with 75-mile-an-hour winds. As of 11 o'clock tonight, we are now up to 80-mile-an-hour winds, gusts over 100 miles an hour. So those gusts are Category 2 hurricane strength. Right now, running about 185 miles south of Charleston, South Carolina. The warnings here in the red that do include portions of South Carolina, including Charleston. The latest on what we're expecting for this one, the center will continue to go off to the north as we go from tonight into tomorrow and is looking to make landfall as a strong Category 1 storm in South Carolina before weakening after making landfall, moving into the southeastern United States with plenty of rain. Virginia, West Virginia, and the Carolinas that could cause flooding problems there before it's all said and done. Now here at home, we could see some effects from Ian as we go into the upcoming weekend. We'll talk more about that and our next chance of rain on the way. Your complete 4-1 forecast that's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. Now the work to clean up this train derailment over in Warren is going late into the night. Now, fortunately, nobody was hurt in the derailment, but it caused quite a traffic mess. Pamela Osborne live where cleanup work is going on right now. So, Pam, any word on how long this is going to take?
Well, it's still going to take at least another day for things to get back up and going here. But as you mentioned, that cleanup process causing a disruption to traffic even at this hour. 9 Mile at Blackstone still closed right now. I spoke to the mayor, James Fouts. He tells me it's looking like things won't be cleared until late sometime tomorrow night. And crews are working double shifts to make sure that happens. As the sun set over Warren, the work to upright and remove several derailed train cars continued. Special equipment was brought in while people were kept out. 9 Mile and Stevens Road remain closed hours after more than a dozen CN trains derailed. Drone 4 giving us an up-close look at the train cars zigzagged across the tracks. It resulted in multiple road closures in the area of Shaner and 10 Mile. Fortunately, though, there were no injuries. The cause of the derailment is something investigators are still working to figure out. And I did reach out to a spokesperson with Canadian National Railways. I have not heard back at this time. We were just looking for more information about the investigation that's going to be taking place and to find out more about that response. But again, I did not hear back. Meantime, the mayor praising the city's firefighters for their quick response to this incident today, also expressing relief that this didn't happen during rush hour and saying this is an example of why we need to start investing more in infrastructure. Reporting live in Warren tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Infrastructure, a hot topic for sure. All right, thank you very much, Pamela.
A Wayne County prosecutor has charged a man and a woman in the shooting of a state police trooper.
The officer was shot during an undercover operation early Tuesday morning. That was on the city's west side. Prosecutors say Andre Scott fired multiple shots at the trooper, and his friend Robin Hall was an accessory after the fact. The trooper is a 10-year veteran of MSP, and we're told he is in stable condition tonight at the hospital.
And new tonight, a woman from San Francisco who flew to Metro Detroit to meet an underage boy takes a plea deal that will keep her in jail. 32-year-old Stephanie Sen was arrested earlier this year after flying to Detroit, renting an Airbnb in Royal Oak, and then sending an Uber to pick up a 15-year-old boy from Novi. Investigators said at the time they believed Sen was talking to the boy for more than a year and both knew each other's age. When the Uber showed up, the boy told his parents and they called police. Sen has pleaded guilty to child sexually abusive activity. As part of the deal, a charge of using a computer to commit a crime has been dismissed. She was sentenced to 1 year in jail with credit for 171 days already served.